When we have no bees left, there's something really wrong in our environment.
Honeybees are critical to agriculture across North America, and this winter has been brutal on U.S. beekeepers. Some areas have seen 60 to 70% overwintering losses, according to entomologists at Washington State University. Canada's honeybee industry begins opening hives a little later than the U.S., but the bees are just as important here as they are stateside.
Bees are very valuable, not so much for the honey, but for the pollinations. When they're visiting flowers, you're getting big fruit, healthy fruit. Bees help us have affordable food in our house.
The good news for Canadian consumers is that losses seem, so far, to be much lower than the U.S. Beehive losses are normal and can happen from anything from a harsh winter to parasites or even to a lack of last year's fall flowers.
The losses are slightly above average, which average for us is usually around 15%. There's some really awesome beekeepers that can keep it down 10%, but so normally, that 10 to 20% range, most beekeepers are happy. Some people have had big losses in Alberta. It's not like across the board.
Why the losses are drastically different in the U.S. versus Canada may be due to how agriculture is regulated between the two countries.
My interpretation is it's something in the environment that's affecting the bees, obviously. And I know that Canadian farmers, they have stricter rules around pesticides and things like that. The government has really been cautious around bee losses.
Honeybee losses can also be attributed to varroa mites infesting colonies, viruses and bacteria infecting mite-stressed colonies, and poor nutrition. That last one is something we might not think about, but as humans urbanize and increase farm crop monocultures, bee pasture acreage decreases and floral resources for bees decreases. This leads to nutritionally stressed hives. Unfortunately, these problems are long-term, so issues that came up last fall might have a direct effect on how hives make it through the winter, and looking ahead, if we have increasingly hot and dry summers, those conditions will have an impact as well.